everybody, welcome to the show. Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Raising A to Z, a YouTube channel all about homeschooling. My name is Amanda. I am a teacher-turned-homeschool mom, and it is that time of year. It is almost summer, right? So we're almost at the glorious warm weather of summer. We're excited for it. So since my husband works in the public system and he is going to be home for the summer, we're kind of like getting ready to wrap up our school year, kind of. Since we homeschool year round, it doesn't mean we're done, but we're kind of done all of like the big learning. All of like my major goals are kind of finishing up right now. And we're getting ready to have a lot of sun, a lot of fun, and kind of a little bit more of an unschooling type of feel for the next couple months. But I thought since summer is coming and I, like many homeschoolers, are kind of at the end of what we planned for the year. So I thought I would do a little check-in and kind of tell you how the last 6 months of homeschooling has kind of gone for us. So that's what today is going to be. It's going to be an update on the last term that we've had, basically. But before we do that, if you guys want to see more videos like this, or you want to make sure that you are up to date on all the videos that are going to be coming out, including all of our planning videos, my curriculum videos, like all those kinds of things are going to be coming in the next couple of weeks. You're definitely going to want to make sure that you go down and subscribe and then click the bell to get notifications so that you get a notification, obviously, when those videos come out. So let's talk about updates. What has this past 6 months been like? So January was great. I always find January is a bit of a slump month for us. We're coming off all the excitement of Christmas and Christmas holidays, and January is always a hard month because it is so flipping cold here in Northern Ontario. Like, whew, so cold. And this year was particularly bad. So one of the things that I have kind of learned over the past couple of years is the best way to combat a slump is to have something really exciting that we want to like jump right into. And so our theme for the month of January was mythical creatures. And it was exactly what we needed to get us back into the idea of learning after taking, like, not that we were not learning, but like it was the perfect thing to kind of kickstart us back into like a homeschool routine. And so we did a lot of learning about unicorns and mermaids and dragons and other types of mythical creatures, and it was great. It was a great way to bring in some like history, a little bit of like ancient Greek culture. Like, it was fantastic. A lot of literature. And my kids loved it because they're obsessed with all things unicorns, mermaids, dragons. It was a perfect hook to get us kind of back into routine, back into like a little bit more of an academic situation after taking kind of the month of December to just enjoy the festivities of Christmas, right? So January went really well. February was also really good. We really had a lot of fun with February because we did a whole unit on fairy tales. And so we did a lot of comparing when we were talking about fairy tales. And so we would do kind of like fractured fairy tales along with the regular fairy tales. So, because I've gotten this question before, what is a fractured fairy tale? Fractured fairy tales are like when you have like a classic retelling, but then you have something that's a little bit different and funny. So for example, so you might have the classic version of Cinderella, the old version, you have like the Disney version, and then you might have a fractured fairy tale version, which is like, we have one called Dinorella, and it's all about Cinderella's a dinosaur and she has to go rescue the prince from some velociraptors. Like, but really, like, it's the same story as Cinderella, it's just told through dinosaurs. That would be like a fractured fairy tale. Or we've read other fractured fairy tales where it's like Little Red Riding Hood, but she actually helps the big bad wolf find books to read at the library. Like, so those would be kind of like a fractured fairy tale, a story based loosely off of or heavily off of another story, but with a different idea in mind. And so we had a lot of fun with that. We did a lot of like comparing and contrasting, and that was like a great heavy like reading unit, which was perfect for February because again, it's still cold, and it was a great thing to like be able to like sit down and cuddle in on the couch and like read books and drink hot chocolate and just spend the morning doing that. And so we really had fun with that unit. March started great. We had so much fun for the first, I want to say like 3 weeks of March. We had so much fun. We were doing oceans, which was a unit that Zoe really wanted to do, and we loved it. We were learning about the layers of the ocean and like water depths, creatures that were in the ocean, sorting animals, mammals and fish and different types of crustaceans, and we were having so much fun with it. And then halfway through, it was March break around here, so my husband was off, obviously. And so we decided to do like a little mini trip to Toronto. You can actually watch that whole video of our vacation to Toronto here. But it was great because we went and we did a field trip. We went to the aquarium a couple of times. That was phenomenal. And we went to the ROM and they had a whole whale exhibit. Phenomenal. We had so much fun. We did that. It was a great experience. It was so much learning that was happening. So many connections that were being made. We were loving it. We came back home and everything just blew up. Everything blew up. After that, Mac got neutered. Our dog, our homeschool mascot, as we like to call him, he got neutered and that went sideways. It was a whole ordeal. What was supposed to be a 20-minute procedure turned into like a 2.5-hour procedure. He did not react well to his pain meds. He did not react well to the anesthesia. He did not react well to pretty much anything we gave him. And so he was sick for like a whole week, like diarrhea, vomiting for a whole week, as well as just being like lethargic, not eating. We had to go back to the vet. It was a whole thing. As soon as Mac was getting better, within like, I want to say less than 42 hours. I want to say less than 36 hours. After Mac was finally kind of like on the mend, Zoe got hit with stomach flu. And that was just a mess for like a solid 2 or 3 days. And then just as she was feeling better and we were like, okay, we're over the worst of it. No one else caught it. Luckily, we're like, yep, we're good. We all got COVID. Ironically, I had it the worst. I was pretty down and out for about 2 days. Just with the fever and really, really not feeling well. And then slowly feeling better and better and better. It probably took me about 2 weeks to be like 100%, but we got there. Both kids had it for maybe 2 days, but their only symptom was they would spike a fever at 4 o'clock. And then by like 8 o'clock it'd be gone and they'd sleep fine. They get up the next morning and they would be 100% all day. Like, I'm not even kidding. One of the days Alexi was sick, we didn't realize it was COVID because she didn't test positive for a couple of days. The morning that Alexi tested positive, we tested her in the evening. She went biking around our neighborhood, I want to say like 4 or 5 times, like outdoors with Stefan, just biking. Like the kid probably did like 8 kilometers of biking that day. Absolutely fine. And then on her last like lap of coming home, Stefan came to me, he's like, she's kind of tired and she's being really quiet. Maybe you want to check her. And she did have a little bit of a fever, but very low grade, like 100. And slept it off. The next morning was raring to go again. And that was it. And then, of course, my husband basically just got fatigued for like a week. Anyway, basically it was like almost an entire month that we did not really do any curriculum. Somebody was sick, somebody was tired, somebody was taking our attention and needed to be watched or supervised. Like it was just not, we were just not in the mental and physical capabilities of homeschooling. Focus on physical health and mental health, and then the learning will catch up later, right? So basically we just waited until everyone was feeling better, and then we just jumped back in and just picked up where we left off, and it worked out. Like, we were doing just fine. We got pretty much every project that I wanted to get done this year done, with the exception of writing a book, which could easily become an activity for the summer or something we just add in next year. It's a fun project, right? Like, not the end of the world. Basically, that was the end of March, that was all of April. And then luckily for May, when the weather started to get nice, we also got better. And so we were able to spend a lot more time outside and do some more gardening and go to parks and playgrounds and do all those things. But it was also we were feeling better. And so we got a lot of our curriculum done again. And for May, we studied the weather, and both my kids loved that. That was a topic that I had suggested that maybe we look into, and they were like, okay, yeah, we'll do it. They actually enjoyed it a lot more than I think they anticipated and than I anticipated. We did some tracking of the weather and doing some graphing, which is really fun. I was Graphing is so fun for kids when you're like make them big and stickers or making dots or something. It's simple, but it's so hands-on, and they loved it. So we tracked how many days we had different kinds of weather. We tracked the temperatures at a certain time every day, and we learned about different types of weather and clouds, and we had a lot of fun. It's June. This is the last month that we have a unit study before we break for the summer. And so this month we are doing butterflies. Last year we learned about insects in general. Zoe requested specifically that we learn about butterflies in depth. So that's what we're doing this last month of June. We're going to be learning about butterflies and life cycles and everything about the beautiful butterflies. Probably raise the monarchs. So that'll be fun. Once June is done, husband's on holidays, and then we're going to switch over to summer mode. And for us, summer mode is maybe a little different than some homeschoolers. I know some homeschoolers are very like they go from September to May or June and that's it. Like when they're off, they're off. We tend to be more year-round homeschoolers. So over the summer, there is no unit studies. So I have no official unit for the month of July or for the month of August. There's no theme. We just kind of let the kids explore and do what they want. And then in terms of workbooks, they have some workbooks that they're finishing up, or that they will, if they finish what they have, we'll just start on the next pack of workbooks because I already have them. And basically, if we are home in the morning and we're not like preparing to do something, if we're home, they do their workbooks, math, and then like a spelling, writing, grammar, whatever it is. And then that's it. That's all we require of them. We do lots of reading throughout the day or reading before bed. And that's kind of our homeschool for the summer. So if we're home, we do workbooks. If we're not home, like we're going on a hike, we're meeting friends for a play date, we're traveling, then we don't do school those days. That's basically how we do summer. If we're home, we do school. If we're not, we don't. That's our plans for summer. That's how this past year has gone. And I'm kind of excited to see what the kids thought of this past year because I really enjoyed this year. I found like we really found a pretty good groove this year. And I really enjoyed watching them connect with the material a lot more. I found Alexi was really much more engaged and like making connections with what was happening a lot more. And I found this year Zoe was really getting into like doing the fine motor stuff of it, but she was also like coming up with ideas and suggestions more. And I really enjoyed doing that with Zoe. So that is what we learned this year. And it was great and we had a lot of fun. And I can't wait to tell you what we're going to learn next year. But you'll have to stick around for the next couple of videos to see exactly what that is going to be. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys got some great information out of it. If you like this video and other videos like it, make sure that you subscribe and click the bell, like I said earlier. And if you want to see what our summer looks like, what homeschooling year-round looks like, you'll definitely want to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.